Welcome to a new daily top AskReddit video. Today's topic:
why did you get fired? A business I went to long ago was hiring and I got the job. Right after I signed all the paperwork, the department manager comes in and asks who I am. I tell him I was just hired as a temp. Manager says he never authorized any hiring and fired both me and my boss on the spot. I did not work for this company at all and they fired me. I had a similar experience. I was interviewing for a sales position and I made it all the way up the ladder through 3 different managers. To the advertising director. Had a great interview. He told me I would be the future of this industry, shook my hand. Led me to the HR manager's office. Clapped me on the back and said to her, "We're hiring him. Start the paperwork and I'll see you Monday." She was pregnant, tired and annoyed. She looked at me with disgust and said, "We eliminated that position yesterday. We're not hiring anyone." I asked if the director or managers knew that. She said they should. What followed was an embarrassing 2 weeks of promises that they would make a spot for me and weak apologies from the hiring managers. Oof. Hired and fired within seconds. They did you a favor. Working for a company that broken and dysfunctional would be a nightmare. Well, I'm sorry, there's just no way that we could keep you on. I don't even really work here. That's what makes this so difficult. Quote. I was denied a raise by HR after consistently working 60 to 70 hours weeks. And my VP, who had supported and requested the raise for me, told me to stop putting in the extra time, work my 40, and spend that extra time applying to new jobs. Within a month, a meeting was called to mutually part ways because my work wasn't getting done. I was gratified to learn that they had to hire 2 people to do my job after I left. Edit. Sucks to see how much this resonates with people who have been in a similar situation. I left this job back in 2015, thankfully. The VP is no longer there either, and good for him. I hear this story often in IT career questions. It's weird, but I guess in IT there aren't always logistical blocks like some other careers. Payroll might be done for our current period, but enhancements to the payroll software can continue ad nauseum. What's sad is that most of these stories skip the part where their VP needs to be pushing for you to justify this level of effort. The second he recognized he didn't have the power to get you what he deserved, he said, "Don't give it to M for free, and get yourself what you can anywhere." That's a rare level of grace now. I encountered a similar situation and my bum-ass boss just said, "Keep trying your best, maybe they'll notice." I said I'd rather spend that energy looking for work elsewhere. Bet that felt good knowing they had to pay 2 people for what you did all by yourself. Glad you got out of there though. Maybe this is just the millennial in me. But if I was working 70 hours a week, denied a raise, and had my position filed by 2 people, I wouldn't have felt good or gratified. I'd have been pissed, wasted my time, wasted my life, wasted my potential, refused to pay me even half of what they're now paying. That company, and everyone involved in the process of denying that raise should themselves be fired for being fuckwits. The only thing this story conjures in my mind is that scene from Futurama, where they show all the Fox executives after making a joke about canceling and bring the show back. I had a friend who was working like that and I convinced to find a new job. He did, and the new company was going to pay him 4x what he was getting paid. He tells his boss and they came back with a counter offer that matched. He told me he was probably going to stay. I said fuck that, they knew your worth and intentionally underpaid you for years. Anyway, he treated me to dinner for several months after he took the new job. I went to the emergency room instead of work. Came back with an note and they said, "We won't be needing that. Can you come with us?" I was 18 and it was my first full-time job. Please tell me you walked out of that office and went straight to the labor board. At-will employment, in the USA, is a joke. I had pneumonia and a doctor's note. Came back to work a week later wheezing and puffing an inhaler. Got fired the next week. Joke's on them. I still got unemployment benefits when they tried to fight it. Doctor's notes are good things. Some of these companies literally fight every claim whether they are valid or not. It's disgusting and there should be penalties for such companies. For doing my job too quickly and sitting down the rest of the time. Gas station cashier, 3rd shift. Me. Why should I stand when I'm the only person in the store? Quote. Manager. It's more professional to stand than sit. Me. Then why do you sit in your office? Quote. I never understood that. Not once have I walked into an establishment, seen an employee sitting, and gone, wow, he's unprofessional. I literally don't give a fuck, as long as you do your job. Especially gas stations. If anything, they're the kind of jobs I would expect to see someone sitting. His wife thought he was having an affair with the office manager. He asked me if I thought it was possible that he was having an affair with the office manager. I said, "It's possible, but I don't think you are." I could see why your wife might think so too. I was 21 and naive as hell. Never should have said anything. He was 100% having an affair with the office manager. Lol. She knew too much. You'd better be dishonest with me or you're fired. Frank, you think you got what it takes? Ted, I'll tell you what I got. Your wife's pussy on my breath. Frank, nobody's ever spoken to me like that before. Ted, that's because their mouths were full of your wife's box. Frank, you're hired. Ted, shit. That statement rings true all over business. Unfortunately,